Welcome to this channel. Welcome again. It is my time to invite you to this channel for a smaller teachings. Today we want to talk about things you should never say to your child if you are a parent. Things you should never say to your child if you are a parent. Which are these things that you should never tell your children if you are a parent is what I want to talk about in the smaller few minutes that is in front of us. Point number one, things that you should not tell your child if you are a parent. Point number one, never ever tell your child, I don't love you. If you tell your child, I don't love you, he will hate you forever. He will hate you forever. There is no any day that he will like you. All days of his time, he will hate you forever. If you dislike him, he will dislike you. If you hate him or her, he will hate you also. Now, never ever tell your child, I don't love you. Point number two, that you should not tell your child, you are just a mistake. You are just a mistake. Or you were born by a mistake. Those are words that very many people do ever say in front of their children. You are just a mistake. I was not expecting you, but you are just a mistake. If you tell your child such words, there is no any day that he will be a useful person in this world or in this life. He will treat you as if you are not his parent. He will treat you in a manner that you will not even like. Point number three, never ever tell your child, stop crying right now. Stop crying right now. If a child is crying, let him cry. If something has hurt him, let him cry. Let him cry for a while. Now, after that, you can tell him, stop in such a way, in a good way, that he will not be tormented in his spirit. Because if you stop him to cry instantly, when anything bad has hurt him, he will be a very bad child. Now, never ever try to do such a mistake. Point number four, you are very fat or you are very thin. If you see your child is growing fatter and fatter and fatter, try to search some ways in which way can you help your child be thin. And if you see your child is growing thinner and thinner and thinner, try to find out a way that you can make your child be fat. Yeah, but never ever tell him, you are very fat, you are very thin. Such words are not good words in front of the children. Another point, why don't you telling your child, why don't you become like so and so? Why don't you become like so and so? That is not good words to tell your children. Why don't you become like so and so? In many ways, you will get that a child represents a parent in a very great percentage, e.g. 90% of a child is a parent. Now if you are clever in school, you as a parent, your child has the high percentage of becoming wise in school. If you are foolish in school, your child also is having high chances to become a fool in school. Now, never ever tell your child, why don't you become like so and so? Your child is you and your child represents you. If you are wise, your child will be wise. And if you are a fool, your child will be fool. Yeah, never try to say such words in front of your children. Another words that you should not say in front of your children, you are such a disappointment. Never try to tell a child you are such a disappointment, because many parents, they always tell their children such words. That words are words of discouragement. And if you discourage your son in his little age, he will also discourage you in your older age, because he will be disappointment in his life and he will be disappointment in your life. Now if you tell him you are such a disappointment, remember, he will be disappointed to you and to his life, and he can't help himself. How can a disappointment people or a disappointed person be useful? Impossible. Another point, never ever tell your child, I regret giving birth to you. I regret giving birth to you. If you tell your child you regret giving birth to him, he will reign you in his little age. He will not grow older with you. He will reign you in his little age. In the age of teenage, he will escape away from your sight, and you will be destroying that child. When he comes closer to you, he will not see any benefit to be closer to you. Now he will reign you in his little age, and he will be destroyed totally forever. Another point, that never ever tell your child, if you are a parent, you behave just like your father or your mother. These words, I have heard very many parents using them. You behave like your father, you behave like your mother. It is not good words to tell your child, you behave like your father, you behave like your mother. Because this son represents his father in a great percentage, and the daughter represents his mother in a great percentage. Now if you tell your daughter or your son, you are just like your mother or your father, you don't know what you are saying. And these pupils, these children to you, will become very worse, and they will not be profitable in your life, and you will regret giving birth to them. And that is the pain you will get in your life, all days of your life in this world. Now, such points, if you know them, it is better if you heed them to your spirit and to your mind, so that you can come up with a very good family that can help you and that can help themselves and your life in the coming future and in this present time. For those small advice, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for coming to this channel. I can ask you to subscribe for more teachings in these channels. This is the channels of Preaching and Teaching Gospels. Preaching and Teaching Gospels channel. You can subscribe more, and I will come later with many teachings such like this and another. To anyone who has heard me, thank you for your time. May God bless you. Amen.